Hey everyone, welcome back to The Explainer. Today we're zooming in on a singular, literally life-changing lesson straight from the book Do Epic Shit. You know, sometimes the absolute most profound truths we can learn are the most direct ones, right? The ones that strip away all those comfortable little illusions we tell ourselves and just force us to look right in the mirror. We're going to break down this one specific concept from the text that has the power to fundamentally alter the entire trajectory of your life. Okay, let's dive into this.
If there's one lesson from Do Epic Shit that can change your life, it's this. Nobody is coming to save you. Man, just let that sit for a second. It sounds a little isolating at first, doesn't it? Because think about it, we spend so much of our lives just waiting. We're waiting for that lucky break, waiting for someone to finally recognize our potential, or waiting for the absolute perfect circumstances to magically align. But the author hits us with this stark reality right out of the gate. The cavalry? Yeah, the cavalry isn't coming.
Section 1, the harsh truth. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it forces us to look at that passive waiting mindset that keeps so many people completely stuck.
To break free from that passive waiting game, the source material breaks down exactly who isn't coming to the rescue. Number 1, not your boss. Your boss is entirely focused on their own goals, their own metrics, their own career path, right? They aren't going to just magically hand you your dream life on a silver platter. Number 2, not your parents. Look, they might love you, they might deeply support you, but they literally cannot live your life for you, and they definitely cannot shield you from the realities of forging your own path. And number 3, not luck. Simply hoping for a winning lottery ticket, whether that's a literal ticket or a metaphorical one, is not a strategy. As we mentally cross off these assumed safety nets one by one, yeah, it can feel a little agitating, but it's an absolutely necessary step. Believing in some external rescue is a complete myth.
Section 2, the complete responsibility pivot. All right, right here is where the entire dynamic shifts. We're moving away from that cold feeling of isolation to something incredibly empowering. Once you truly accept that no one is coming to save you, you suddenly realize you aren't a victim of circumstance anymore. You're in the driver's seat. So, the crucial point is this exact realization. The moment you take complete responsibility for your life, everything changes. And really notice the wording there. Not some responsibility, not responsibility only when things are actually going your way, complete responsibility. When you stop pointing fingers at the economy or your background or your supposedly bad luck, you completely reclaim all of your power. The source emphasizes that this specific mental shift is the exact dividing line between remaining totally stuck and finally moving forward.
Section 3, actions over excuses. Let's move to and see how this builds into the practical, day-to-day application of this newfound responsibility.
And this brilliantly illustrates the stark choice you have every single day. Acceptance of complete responsibility means your daily output literally has to change. On one hand, you have a future built by excuses. Let's be honest, excuses are incredibly easy, right? They're comfortable, they protect our ego, and they require absolutely zero energy to create. But they build a completely fragile house of cards. On the other hand, you have a future built by actions. And actions are hard. They require discipline, they actively invite failure, and they demand actual sweat. The text makes it definitively clear your future simply cannot and will not be constructed by the brilliant, highly logical reasons you didn't do something.
It is built by actions. You have to move. You have to execute. Honestly, it doesn't even matter how small the step is. It literally only matters that you actually take it. Once those excuses are gone, once the waiting is completely over, action is the only tool you have left in the toolbox to craft the life you actually want to live.
Which brings us to the ultimate takeaway from today's explainer. I am asking you directly, right here, right now. Since nobody is coming to save you, what action will you take to build your future today? Not tomorrow, not next week when you feel a little bit more ready or inspired. Today. Those safety nets, they're completely gone. The excuses are entirely useless. It is just you and the work that needs to be done. So take complete responsibility and start building.